There you have it, the story of Alvin Karpis, the most wanted man back in the 1930s in America. Of course, the story has changed now that it's 1984. Today, the most wanted man in America is... Hey, what about me? Don't I even make the top 10?
Good evening, I'm Karen Harch. Nolan Johannes has the day off. Coming up next on Newswatch 16, can you filter out the parasite? Plus...
some state lawmakers are betting on a gambling bill that they think Pennsylvanians will like. I'm Dan Fiorucci. I'll tell you about it.
Those stories plus snow in the forecast and Joe with NFL action next.
In your car, listen to Newswatch 16 on WKRZ AM 1340.
Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, pilot Jack Rulin in Skycam 16, Chief Meteorologist Tom Clark, and Joe Zone on sports. This is Newswatch 6.
The number of people who have come down with giardiasis has grown to 178. As we've been telling you, the victims drank water in areas served by Pennsylvania Gas and Water Company Springbrook Reservoir. Health officials point to a parasite in that water supply as causing the severe intestinal disease. Those in the affected areas are still being advised to boil their drinking water tonight, but some state lawmakers had one of those areas declared a disaster to help get state money to deal with those water problems. Governor Dick Thornburgh said no to the disaster declaration. A spokesman says at this point it would not be useful. With the number of giardiasis cases still growing, more and more doctors are requesting lab tests of their patients for the disease. Newswatch 16's Mark Davis reports for one lab, the giardiasis outbreak means a lot of extra work.
The laboratory of Nesbitt Hospital in Kingston is literally doing hundreds of tests for giardiasis almost daily. Patient stool samples are examined for the disease only at the request of doctors, and this is added to an already heavy workload.
We've added to it the workload of approximately 100 specimens a day, which again amounts to a lot of extra work for the people involved.
For the 5 medical technicians working on the tests, it means some overtime looking for the microorganism. To give you an idea of the size of the organism the lab people here at Nesbitt are looking for, the best analogy they can give us is this, that if you took the head of a pin, you could fit 1,000 giardia cysts on the head of that one pin. The test for giardiasis takes about 15 minutes. First, the samples come in with the physician's request. Then a sample is put on a microscopic slide and then magnified 600 times. Now, even then, it's still very small, but noticeable to a trained eye.
It's usually larger than most of the other things we're seeing in here, and it's basically an oval-shaped form. It looks, in layman's terms, like it has 2 eyes in it.
This is what Mary Stavridis is looking at, but here the giardia cyst is magnified several thousand times. The people here say if the current trend continues, they could handle a year's worth of tests for giardiasis this month alone. Mark Davis, Newswatch 16, Kingston.
Some of you may still have questions about the water problems and the disease giardiasis. We here at Newswatch 16 are taking the most frequently asked questions that were called into us Friday night when we aired our special program, Giardiasis, Not a Drop to Drink. We're giving those questions to the experts. To get a copy of both the questions and answers, write to Water, wnep-tv, Wilkes-Barre Scranton Airport in Avoca, 18641. Please send a self-addressed stamped legal-sized envelope. Asbestos left some students in Northumberland County home from school today, but officials in the Milton School District say those students should be back in the asbestos-free classrooms tomorrow. Janitors, teachers, and administrators were busy today moving classroom equipment from the Milton Senior High School to the junior high. The district shut down the senior high and the White Deer Elementary School after Newswatch 16 aired a series of reports showing asbestos in the 2 Northumberland County schools. The plan is for the seniors to go half-day at the junior high, and the White Deer students will go to the Montandon School. Tomorrow morning, tests are scheduled on the asbestos at White Deer Elementary. Newswatch 16 continues with hearings on whether to allow casino gambling into Pennsylvania. We'll have the latest, so stay with us.
Everything from whitewater to black powder to beavers, biking, and bows. From copperheads to whitetails to casting, calling, and crows. You'll see stalking fish, fixing poles, rainbow trout, and snowy owls, setting traps, drilling holes, earthworms, and waterfowl. Whether you're a fan of the Eagles, Browns, Bears, or Giants, or of Joe and Stan and the Mountain Man, or some Tom Duck or Harry, watch hiking, frying, riding, tying, skiing, and flying on Pennsylvania Outdoor Life, Saturday at 7.
The state is holding hearings into the proposal that casino gambling should be allowed in Pennsylvania. We've been hearing for some time now about the gambling push in the Poconos. But as Newswatch 16's Dan Fiorucci reports, casino gambling would be allowed in any community where the people vote in favor of it.
The economic benefits are illusory. The dangers are real.
It was the opponents who got to speak first. They testified that gambling is no way to raise money.
Each $1,000 spent on products expands the economy, but each $1,000 spent on gambling could eventually require more social services to heal the ills of lost production and compulsive gambling.
What they were testifying about was House Bill 1808, a bill which would permit legalized slot machines in any community that decides to allow them. And while opponents argued that gambling is a drain on the economy, proponents insisted that allowing slot machines in Pennsylvania would bring in $338 million to state coffers, money that would be used for education, mortgage assistance, job training for the unemployed, and aid to the handicapped.
The people who support this bill are demons. We don't wear horns. We stand for a proposition that the people should decide what they want in their communities. We're just like you.
If Bill 1808 passes, then in any city that wants it, restaurants and resorts like this one would be permitted to operate slot machines. But the odds against any gambling legislation are high. The issue is just too controversial. But lawmakers say that if any bill has a chance of passing this year, it's 1808. The hearings continue tomorrow. Dan Fiorucci, Newswatch 16 at Mount Airy Lodge in the Poconos.
Another topic which is especially tough to tackle is the subject of an ABC program being aired tonight at 9 o'clock. Something About Amelia deals with incest. As Newswatch 16's Dorothy Lucey reports, it's a subject that needs to be discussed.
Something About Amelia isn't something you talk about at the dinner table.
Amelia says you've been having sex with her. I'm not a liar. How could you do that?
Where could she go? Counselors at the Scranton's Women's Resource Center say the ABC made-for-TV movie is very real.
We see very many cases in our area. Most of the cases that we see in our area, our center in Scranton, are usually women who are dealing with an incest problem that has maybe ended several years ago, and they are now adults, but they're still dealing with some of the feelings.
But counselors don't always work with adults. They use these dolls when they work with children, sometimes 2-year-old children.
Many of the people that deal with our children and young children, a lot of time I will spend doing some play therapy with them, having them act out what's occurred with the offender.
If you think tonight's movie, Something About Amelia, will bring up something you want to talk about, the Women's Resource Counselors hope you will call them.
Where could she go for answers?
I hate you!
Or for love?
I can protect my own child.
Something About Amelia could destroy their lives.
The counselors say if you watch Something About Amelia, maybe you can stop something like this from happening to someone you love. Dorothy Lucey, Newswatch 16, Scranton.
Our meteorologist Tom Clark is next with his forecast. Tom, all day I've been hearing snow, snow, snow. How much?
You like snow, don't you, Karen?
Not really.
We're going to have more snow for sure. The rumors are true, and my satellite picture shows not one, but 2 storms approaching the area. And I'll tell you how much snow and when it's going to come when we come back.
All of you, not only around holiday time, but the whole year around. Slow in the bottle. Enjoy the road.
I should say I don't mind snow that much. It's pretty to look at, but Tom, I just don't like driving in it. That's my problem.
You and I both, Karen, but we have yet this winter to have our first significant snowfall.
That's true.
And there is a reasonably good chance that we are about to get it. Let's look at the temperature outside now. We have cloudy skies overhead in this backyard. Not much snow left on the ground. The reading is 26. The humidity is 65%. The wind light from the southeast. The barometer is holding steady for now. The high today, 31 here in the backyard. The low this morning was 20, not too far from the normals. Look at that. The record's 61 back in 78, and that record low was set back in 1966. The shot there in the background is Kirby Park, where they were trying out their sleds on what little snowfall there was on one of the dikes there leading into the river. Now, the nowcast shows where it's snowing now. Snowing lightly now in Williamsport, just some flurries. Very light snow across the northwestern counties of Pennsylvania, and a good bit of snow now falling out into Michigan. The storm that's going to bring us some snow tonight, storm number 1, is right about there over Cincinnati. It's tracking up over the state, and it'll be tracking right up towards our area later on tonight, and we can see a small accumulation of snow here as storm number 1 comes in from the southwest. The satellite view shows storm number 2. Take a look down here in Texas. A very nice swirl of clouds, very warm, moist air coming up ahead of that storm. 64 degrees this afternoon in Nashville, Tennessee. So there's quite a bit of moisture coming up, and this storm is projected now by the computers to track right up like so. And I think that by late tomorrow and tomorrow night, it'll come close enough to eastern Pennsylvania to dump more snow on the area, probably more than what we're going to get tonight, which isn't a whole lot. So it's a chance of a half-foot of snow coming tomorrow night from this southern storm, taking with it a lot of moisture up into Pennsylvania. Here's our forecast for tonight. It looks like this: 1 to 3 inches of snow over the area, beginning anytime in the Wilkes-Barre Scranton area. I'd say about 8 or 9 o'clock this evening. Snowing lightly now in the west. Temperatures holding in the 20s in most places tonight. 23 the low in Suskin. Hello out there watching tonight. Now tomorrow, more snow coming in. Now I can see just a very light snow through most of the day. Then I think it'll pick up late in the day tomorrow into tomorrow night. Again, there's a potential for a half-foot of snow, especially over the eastern portions of the viewing area. You get out towards Williamsport and central Pennsylvania, the potential for less snow exists. But temperatures tomorrow climbing not much higher than what they are now, about 32 in Pottsville, 27 in Pittston. The Health Watch shows an average index on all the categories for tomorrow. Let's go down from the top. We have the snow coming in tonight, 1 to 3 inches, okay? Potential for heavier snow late tomorrow and tomorrow night. Colder air on Wednesday. Look at that. Only 14 for the high. Some flurries on Wednesday. Cloudy Thursday and Friday as I see it now. Karen, tonight at 11 I'll have the latest computer output on the storm coming in from Texas, so stay tuned for that.
Okay, we'll be watching. Thank you, Tom. Our own Joe Zone is next with a new Super 16 list, plus a look at the playoff action in the NFL.
15 and Miami has a touchdown!
Hello, I'm Jimmy Cephalo of the Miami Dolphins. I grew up in Pittston and I love this area of Pennsylvania, but I don't like what's happening to some of our youngsters in this area and throughout the country: drugs and alcohol. Drugs and alcohol make you think that you're stronger, faster, and smarter, but they actually make you slower, less coherent, and weaker. Stay away from them. Do yourself a favor. They're only trouble.
You know, it's hard to believe, but Joe Zone is 3 for 3. Let's see, you had Miami, Washington, the Raiders. That's pretty hard to beat.
I also predicted that Mike Rozier would not go with the USFL. 3 for 4. They threw up $3 million, and the Heisman Trophy running back jumped all over it today. Mike Rozier, who rushed for over 2,000 yards in college with Nebraska this year, is going to play in the United States Football League. The 3-year, $3 million deal makes Rozier the second highest paid player in football, right behind Herschel Walker. I thought Rozier might wait until May to see what the NFL boys were offering. You can bet his agent put some feelers out and found that nobody in the big league was offering that kind of money. Yesterday's NFL playoffs held true to form, although the Redskins had a bit more trouble than some of you might have expected. When the Redskins went up 21-0, I fell asleep. I'm not kidding you. Boring. But back came San Francisco. They tied it with 3 Joe Montana TD passes late in the game. Then, with time running out, watch the Mark Mosley field goal. He missed 4. He made 1. This was the important one. The Redskins get out with their skins 24-21. AFC title game, all Raiders. They led 10-0 in the second when quarterback Jim Plunkett connected with Malcolm Barnwell to the 7th. Frank Hawkins had his second touchdown, and the Raiders had a 17-0 lead. Marcus Allen rushed for 154 yards and a touchdown. Seattle's great Kurt Warner shut down. The Raiders go to the Super Bowl.
I think we did physically beat up on them. We didn't lay back and we didn't ride on them. We attacked them.
It was just us against them, man against man, and we beat them.
Did you beat up on Seattle?
We beat them. We beat up on them. We beat them. We beat them at their game. We beat them in our game. We ran. We threw on them. We beat them.
Well, I think we really kept them off balance. Jimmy threw a lot on first down, and we ran on plays they were expecting us to pass on.
I think we took the air out of them. I think we jumped in their phases real quick and were real aggressive on them and tried to intimidate them a little bit, and I think it worked.
It worked. The Super Bowl is 2 weeks away. It's in Tampa. I'm going Raiders, 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 and I'm starting right today with the campaign. A couple of new teams in at the bottom of the Super 16. Number 16, 11-4, Loyal Sock. 15th is Northeast Bradford, they're 8-2. Number 14, Gaelton at 12-1. Wyoming Valley West off fast in the Wyoming Valley Conference, they're 13th. Number 12, Tamaqua, they move up after 2 wins. Number 11 is the 9-2 Valley View Cougars. Millville, 11-1, they're number 10. Our 9th-ranked team is Waverly at 10-3. Lords Regional dropped to 8th after losing. Number 7, Scranton Tech, they're 10-2. 6th-ranked is Abington Heights at 11-1. Number 5, Allentown Central Catholic, they're 13-1. Scranton Prep is undefeated and ranked number 4. Number 3, Pottsville, they're 14-1. Northwest area is 15-0 and ranked number 2. And the number 1 team since day 1, Williamsport, they are a perfect 12-0 and, by the way, ranked 2nd in the state. University of Scranton did something over the weekend they hadn't done in a couple of years. They lost a conference game. Lycoming beat the Royals Saturday in Williamsport, Scranton's 4th loss of the year. The defending national champs are looking for a major regroup as they head into Dickinson tonight. Interesting information for those of you who think football might be too dangerous for young kids. Now I'm talking about the age group 5 to 14. Twice as many kids in that group died from baseball injuries than football injuries. That's over the 8-year period from 73 to 1980, 40 baseball-related deaths to 19 for football. Very interesting information. That's all of it. Give tonight your best shot, and I'll see you at 11 o'clock.
Boy, that's hard to believe.
Now, overall, in all age groups, football by 2 to 1 is still a bigger killer than baseball. But in that age group, baseball is more dangerous than football.
Watch the Little Leaguers. Okay, thanks, Joe. And when we come back, we'll tell you about a man who went from the bottom to the top. It's a story of a priest who's sweeping up for the Lord.
Hi, I'm Sue Heon from Clark Summit. Northeastern Pennsylvania was a place where I first grew to love swimming. At Abington Heights, I spent a lot of hours in the pool, but it's nothing like the 8 hours a day that I spend in training here at Germantown Academy for the 1984 Olympics. Please support the United States Olympic Foundation, and who knows, maybe you'll be seeing me in the 1984 Games.
Finally tonight, you've probably heard the phrase, the family that prays together stays together. Well, the priest who coined that phrase celebrated his 75th birthday by holding Mass at St. Peter's Cathedral in Scranton today. Father Patrick Payton grew up in Scranton and once served as the janitor at the cathedral. He became known nationwide for his work promoting family prayer, especially the Rosary. And that's Newswatch 16 for this Monday. Be sure to join us tonight on The Update when we'll have some reaction to tonight's ABC movie, Something About Amelia. ABC's World News Tonight is next. For the team, thanks for being with us. Enjoy your evening.